For many of us, life with God feels like a high-stakes workplace. We punch in, follow the company handbook, and work tirelessly to please a supervisor in hopes of earning our keep. This boss mentality usually takes root when we project our own experiences with earthly authority onto the divine. We end up building a wall around our hearts, fueled by a persistent, quiet fear of failing in inspection. Looking at the sheer magnitude of the stars makes that distance feel permanent. Scaling out from our sun, we find ourselves in one of 10 billion galaxies in the observable universe. This brings the estimated total to 1 billion trillion stars. It is logical to assume a creator of this scale would be indifferent to our individual lives. However, the actual nature of God is far more intimate, a relationship that functions like a long, adventurous hike with a parent who delights in the journey. Jesus introduced a startlingly different title for God, Abba. It's an affectionate term from the home, best translated as Daddy. The Bible describes a creator who was willing to get messy. God knelt in the soil to intimately form humanity from the earth, breathing life directly into the dust. This makes the pursuit of God a trick of discovery rather than a rigid exercise in rule following. It's an adventure with a companion who knows the terrain. To start this journey, we have to set down the heavy pack of taskmaster theology. We can't truly know a parent while we are still trying to audition for a boss. We aren't hiking with a solitary figure. We are joined by the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Trinity operates as a perfectly unified team. These three distinct beings exist in a constant state of honoring, submitting to, and making way for each other. When we enter a relationship with God, we are invited into this internal team dynamic. We have a support system that has mastered the art of looking out for one another. I felt the weight of that team during a challenge in the Swiss Alps. I was lost in the dark, without a phone, without any money, and unable to speak the local language. I was a literal stranger in a dangerous place. A boss might penalize a worker for such a massive oversight, but in that darkness, I felt the Trinity right at my side. The awareness that I was walking with a Father, Son, and Spirit who were working together to lead me home turned my panic into an immediate, profound peace. This is how a loving parent operates. They may permit the storm to happen, but they provide their own presence as the anchor within it. A guide who loves you will anticipate your physical needs and vulnerabilities long before you think to ask for help. Years ago, a medical crisis during my pregnancy left me with dangerously low blood pressure. The midwife told me I needed a diet of high-quality steak, an impossible request for my family, as we had no money and lived in a community with very basic shared meals. The very next day, friends unexpectedly served us steak for lunch and then gifted us a massive cooler filled with farm-fresh meat, everything from burgers to prime cuts. That surplus lasted for months. This level of provision reflects the lavish character of God's love. It provides an abundance that far exceeds a simple fair wage. He meets these specific needs because He is our designer. He knows the count of the hairs on your head, and He understands the requirements of your biological and emotional frame better than you do. On this journey, God's love manifests as deeply practical, physical provision. We can trust Him with the daily logistics of our lives. As the hike continues, we eventually move from the trail to the campsite. Our identity shifts from a fearful servant hoping to earn a spot to a secure, adopted child who is already home. From this perspective, biblical laws look different. They create a protective space, a perimeter that keeps us safe from harm, so that we can experience the fullest possible freedom within the camp. You can practice this intimacy daily through vulnerable prayer. It means inviting God into the middle of the mess without waiting to tidy up your life first. Historically, when the Israelites camped in the wilderness, God instructed that the tabernacle, His dwelling place, be set up directly in the center of all the tribes. Everything about His character points to the name Emmanuel, God with us. The architect of 1 billion trillion stars chooses to walk as an intimately present Father. He takes every step beside you, dwelling right in the center of your everyday life.